is the percentage of people that would agree for a need of a third party. Is it a 5% number, a 10% number, a 15% number? Because you've heard the number when Romney said 47%. That video came out and got viral. It says, well, the 47%, and the 45, 47. Let's just say it's 45, 45 on each side.
Dang it, I was trying to catch the screenshot of that cup. You've got to read that book, Political Industry.
Democrats are going to be Democrats. Republicans are going to be Republicans. What is that number of people that are independent, libertarians, or third party? Do we know that number?
Yeah. So I want to answer that question and then tell you why it's less important than we think. So, interestingly, in the country, all we hear about is the Democrats think this and the Republicans think this. And you would think that means that half the people think this and half think the other thing, but it turns out...
But it's not true. You know that there are people in the middle. So I don't even need to go there. I'm going to just go straight to where she has the graphic. Where is it? Where did it go? Where is the graphic?
That way. And here's what I mean by... I'm going to play devil's advocate, and you can push back because I support the fact that I'd love to have a third party. You go to India, I've been to India, and they'll say, we got 45 plus political parties, but it's really only 3 or 4 political parties. You'll go to Mexico, and they'll say, we got 5 different political parties, but it's really only 3 parties, the conservatives, the socialists, and the Democrats, and that's kind of what they have going on over there. You can go to a lot of different places, but someone is going to have to take a hit, one of the sides, to agree on having a third party. And why would a party want to do that? So it's almost like Democrats going to say, okay, you guys go through it first, not us. Or Republicans are going to say, no. You guys deal with your Howard Schultz first, or your Mark Cuban first. Let him go as an independent, but he's really a Democrat. Oh, no. Why don't you guys experience your own Republican? Yeah, John Kasich, let him go as a independent.
Yeah, we already know that it's 1/3 of the population. I was trying to get that screen grab. I think it's around here somewhere.
And the rest is pretty much everybody else that's kind of in the middle. Who did that study and that research? Because that's very interesting to me.
I actually don't have the attribution right in front of me, but I'm going to send that to you after. So,
and everybody
there we go.
Watching it, we're going to put it below for you to look.
There. You see there? Rising portion of Americans identifying themselves as independents. It's above 33%. Independence. I consider myself an independent because, quite frankly, the polarization is ridiculous. I'm a free thinker. And the number of people who are becoming more and more independent and they're not as polarized on certain issues, it's almost 50%. I know that's a stretch. It's almost 40%, which is more than 1/3 of the population. So we clearly don't want to be Democratic or Republic. We want to be free-thinking people who can decide for ourselves, not be dictated to by one party or the other who are working in collusion with each other to protect their jobs and their livelihoods while the public suffers. That's just ridiculous. So now I want to go ahead and fast forward to the part that, the solution.
Or your Mark Cuban first, let him go as an independent, but he's really a Democrat. Oh, no. Why don't you guys experience your own Republican and John Kasich, let him go as a independent, but he's really a Republican. Which party is going to be willing to give up first? That's the challenge. I see it's so vicious, it's so ugly, it's so dirty. Who's going to want to give up one election, especially since all this money and jobs are on the line?
Neither one is going to want to give it up, but they don't have to. Let me tell you how this works. So I want to just say what the answer, and it's not the only answer, it's just the most important answer. It's the without changing this, none of the other.
I think she's trying to say it's the simplest answer because the states have the power to make this change immediately. And I think she goes on to say how many states, and it's in the majority. Seriously? Baby. Stop, Boogie. You've been quiet this whole time. I don't even want to edit this.
side can pass, meaning they're pushed to the right and left. Michael talked about that earlier. They can't come together to solve anything because they'll lose their primary. So there you go. You're just done. You can't get anything done because there's no connection between doing the right things for the public and the public interest.
Why you just stab me in the face?
There's no connection between those things. That's absolutely crazy if you want to get things done. So we get rid of the party primary, and we have instead a non-partisan primary where everybody's on the same ballot. The top 5 vote getters will move forward to the general election. Then in the general election, we're going to get rid of that plurality voting system that we sort of chose by accident when the country started. But that seemed fine. And now we know that that system is what keeps out new competition. Third parties, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, any, or independents, any kind of new competition. So we replace plurality voting with ranked choice voting. And again, we can learn all about this in our book or on our website. I won't give all the details now, although I'm happy to if you want me to. And in this case, when you use ranked choice voting, it eliminates the spoiler problem. It means that no new competition automatically takes away the ability of, let's say, the current duopoly to win. But it does inject the new ideas and the competition in, and now there's no reason to force a Mark Cuban out of the race, to force a Michael Bloomberg not to run, to say don't vote for Jill Stein or don't vote for Gary Johnson. With ranked choice voting, that is not a problem because in the end, ranked choice voting means you have to win with the majority. You have to have over 50%.
So let me ask a question right there. Because I went through it. I was reading in chapter 5. I was going through it, and I watched the video as well. Do I have to rank everybody? Like, can I leave anything empty, or I have to vote and rank them?
No. So in ranked choice voting, and maybe we'll be able to put the way the ballot looks up. In ranked choice voting, you can rank as many or as few as you want. So if you want to just have one choice, the way you always do, this is my favorite, you want to cast your ballot for that person, absolutely no problem. You don't need to know about all the candidates if you don't want to. If you have an opinion on 2 of them, you can rank them. You can also, you might know who's your favorite and who's your least favorite, and not care as much about people. All of those things. And again, what's so interesting is ranked in our theory is less about changing who wins and more about providing the opportunity in final 5 voting for 5 candidates, 5 sets of ideas to be heard. So you could have a Perot running on deficit and bringing that issue to the fore on a regular basis. And even if she or he doesn't win, whoever does win will have seen what the voters had to say about that particular issue. So I want to come back now and answer,
This kind of brings me back to why so many people were rallying behind Jo Jorgensen. She was basically saying, don't think of it as you taking away a vote from Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Think of it as letting them know what your opinion truly is. You see how tight the race is. If you go look at the polls, go look at how many votes Jo Jorgensen received. Don't say, oh, she spoiled it for Biden or Trump. Go and listen to what she has to say, and then you'll understand why she got so many votes in the first place. Why in the world did we have such a high voter turnout? I know people are just like, oh, well, the votes were rigged against Trump. Oh, no, the votes were rigged against Biden. What if the votes were rigged against the third parties? That's a question that needs to be asked. Because like I said earlier, the voting machines are created by Chinese people. Okay? They're not stupid. They're good with software and all this great stuff. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm just trying to get you to think. Do you have, beyond a reasonable doubt, that our election system is perfectly secure? when the voting machines are manufactured out of the country and the software is developed by a company outside of the country and it's funded by political parties of whom you may or may not be associated with or affiliate yourself with. Just think before you say, oh, Trump is an embarrassment and he should concede. Or you say that, no, Trump's going to win at the end because the votes are going to prove that he's the rightful winner. To me, as far as I'm concerned, the whole system needs an overhaul. And people are stuck on the wrong problem. The problem is the system. The problem is the electoral system. The election system is the problem. I'm going to let her finish her statement and then I'm going to cut this off because I'm about 11 minutes now.
How we're going to get this done, because you're saying, well, one party's going to have to give first. And what I'm saying is, first, they don't have to give because they'll be in the hunt in ranked choice voting just like everybody else. If they deliver what the public wants, they will absolutely still win. They'll still win. But if they don't, then some entrepreneurial politician will have an opportunity that is not available now. And we will pass this state by state, and so the parties won't have a say, the citizens will do it, or the legislatures will do it, and then the system will be implemented. And what's also really amazing about this, I just love this, is that we don't have to get this done in 50 states before we see the benefits as a country. Think about this, Patrick. If we pass final five voting, which means nonpartisan top five primaries plus ranked choice voting general election, it's a package, final five voting. If we pass final five voting in 5 states, we would have immediately 10 senators, and we could have, anywhere, depending on the states, maybe let's call it 50 representatives that would be in Washington, D.C., responding to a different set of incentives. Now, they very well may be Republicans, Democrats still, but they got elected by a majority in their district. They don't have to go through the eye of the needle that is a party primary, so they can't be pushed further to the left or the right. They can sign bipartisan compromise legislation if they want to and still make it through their primary. That's totally critical. And they serve as a fulcrum in a sense, which can serve as a bridge between the parties and the people responding to the traditional incentives. Because if you had 10 senators who could be the yes votes on the infrastructure bill, or could be the yes votes on a sort of debt deficit reduction where we work on revenues and spending, and they know they can still get reelected even if they're Republicans or Democrats, we can really change. In the existing system, leave the other 45 states the same, we can change how this works. So I am blown away all the time by the fact that when we looked at the system and decided what was the most important thing to change, it turned out that the most important thing to change is also something that we can change. And it also turns out that we don't have to change it everywhere to begin to get results. It's an unbelievable opportunity for the country to pass final five voting.
There you go. There's the solution. That's the first step. That is truly the first step. Now let's see here. We've got the book by Catherine M. Dale, Porter John, Patrick Bence, valuetainment, all this good stuff. I'm going to put a link to her book in my description because it is a good book. And I do suggest that you subscribe to Valuetainment as well, because he is always putting out good stuff. And I can't always comment on it because, as you heard, my baby is in the background and I don't always have the ability or the energy to record. But it seems like 169,000 views. That's it? No, everybody in America needs to watch this video for real. And I'm shouting out to him because, quite frankly, he has reformed the way I think. Because I, like her, I was going through political grief and anxiety. My country is falling apart. And everybody keeps coming up with these solutions that seem like they're going to take forever. And here this woman is who has written a book, my namesake, mind you, about the most simplest solution that people have been talking about for quite a long time. And Maine has ranked choice voting. It's not that hard to change. People can petition to have it on the ballot, to make it become a thing in multiple states. Seriously, it can be done. So here is the book. Please, if you can, I'd appreciate it if you could help me out, because we seriously need the money here. I encourage you to watch this video, but I'd appreciate it if you could buy my Amazon link down below. But The Politics Industry is a very good book, and I read it the other day, and best Audible credit I've ever spent in my life, because I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with people on Facebook talking about how, oh, Donald Trump should be embarrassed. He's exercising his legal right to contest potential fraud. And Joe Biden is not the goddamn president-elect. The states did not certify the election. The votes have not been certified. They're being contested. All the votes have not been counted. Stop it. Your ignorance is going to kill this country. And you need to see some reason and some rationale. I can't sit back and allow the ignorance to keep on going. You think the country's supposed to run a certain way, but you are dead wrong. People are telling me about in 2016, oh, well, Hillary didn't contest. She conceded. No, she didn't. No, she did not. You need to go back on YouTube and watch those videos from 2016 to get a good understanding of what really happened. But okay, before I go out on another tirade, because it's just so aggravating and irritating, and my son wants to go outside, I'm going to end this here. Please check the link below. Please help me out so we can, one, get this idea into a lot more hands of the people. And three, help me so I can get out of this stupid apartment where my mailbox was broken before the election and somehow miraculously got fixed afterwards. So when they say that there's voter fraud, I know that it's possible because my father got a ballot. And I know that if my father, who's been dead for 2 years, got a ballot in the mail in my mailbox, I know that a dishonest person probably got a ballot in the mail and might have very well have used it. So think about that as well. I hope this is a beacon of truth for you guys. And I hope you guys find your way to the right path. Because the path that we're going on is going to destroy this country. And the next thing you know, we're going to be Venezuela. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that does not happen.